Say Selenium class 36, writing Selenium test cases part 4. See, in the last 3 classes, we discussed some test cases. Today, I'm going to explain some different test cases. Two categories. Observe first one, data-driven testing, data-driven testing. Next, batch testing, batch testing. Data-driven testing, batch testing. You know what is data-driven testing? Testing the same functionality with multiple sets of test data. Or you can say testing the same test cases using multiple sets of test data. You know, purpose of data-driven testing. Why data-driven testing? Positive and negative testing. Next, batch testing. What is batch testing? Executing series of test cases. Executing series of test cases. Okay. First I am taking this first one, batch testing. Data-driven testing. You come Pavani. And one more thing, today I am going to use flat file as resource. Resource means test data file. For data-driven testing, resource required, test data file is required. Today I am going to use flat file or notepad like text file as resource. In TestNG chapter, we will use Excel also. Okay. Come Pavani, guide me. Pavani.
Yes, sir.
Okay, cool.
Yes.
8. Test case. What is the test case? Data-driven testing. Data-driven testing for admin login in GCR shop admin interface. Okay. Next, how to conduct? By reading, just a minute. By reading test data from a text file. By reading test data from a text file. Notepad like observe Ravindra. For data-driven testing, resource required. Test data file is resource. You know admin login functionality, Ravindra. You know admin login functionality. Okay. Pavani, guide me quickly. Pavani. Admin login functionality.
One question from my side.
Ah.
You said last class that we have to do one scenario which is without using data driven for the multiple
Yes,
data.
that we will use in cross browser testing chapter. I will cover that scenario also.
Okay, sir. Okay.
You come Pavani.
Yes, sir.
See, you know that admin login functionality. Observe once again, Pavani. Admin login functionality. First, launch the browser. You know, see once again. Next, gcrit.com/build3. Next, admin. Okay, this is admin interface. URL. Just a minute. Okay. Next, enter username. Next, enter password. Next, click OK button. OK button. Okay, now login over. Next, prepare test data file. Before that, steps. Quick quick powering. One is
Launch the
launch
browser.
the browser, launch the browser. Next,
And go to the GC or IT.
navigate. Term is
Navigate.
navigate to. You can use URL or GC or name of the interface. Otherwise, URL is better. Admin interface. Navigate to this one. Okay, just a
Enter
minute.
username and enter the password.
Just a minute. Next, enter.
Username.
Enter username. Next, enter
Password.
password. Enter password. Okay. Next, what is that button name? What is the button name? Login button. Okay. Click
Login button.
login button. Click login button. Okay. Just a minute.
Sir, in the in the bracket by reading test data from the FTOM test file.
Okay. From. Okay. Spell mistake. Okay. Good observation. Next, test steps over. Next, verification point. Verification points. Verification points. Observe Vijay. Here we can use any one reasonable verification point. For example, after login, you can get log off link. Otherwise,
Input.
by capturing the URL, you can get different URL after login. Then you can confirm. What is that one? Capture the URL and capture the URL and compare with expected. Input data, suppose
Email.
reference input dot txt file. Okay. Next, just a minute. Expected URL. Just a minute. Suppose admin at 123 login. You take this one. This is my expected. Okay na Ravindra? Manual steps. Okay na?
Yes, sir.
Now come to prepare test data file. Just a minute. Suppose text file input. File name is input. Just a minute. Username. Just a minute. username, password. Suppose first record admin, next admin at 123, first record valid, second record admin 1, next admin at 123, invalid, admin 1, username invalid, next admin at 123. Observe Ravindra, like this you can prepare number of records. For positive testing, single record enough, valid username and password. For negative testing, you can prepare number of records, but I prepared only single invalid record. Just my intention is explaining data driven testing. In this test case, one small problem is there. That's why I am just using 3 records. But in another scenarios, in another areas, you can use 10 inputs, 20 inputs, 50 inputs also. Observe Sirisha, what is the problem? Observe the problem. Ravindra, observe the problem. And you take this test case as assignment, Ravindra. Suppose
Okay, sir.
admin, next admin at 123, login. Okay, login successful. Log off. Next admin ABCD something. Observe left side top, invalid administrator login attempt. Next time invalid. Next third time invalid. Fourth time invalid. Observe the message. One more functionality, security point of view. One functionality is there, Sirisha. The maximum number of login attempts has been reached. Maximum number 3. After 3 attempts, failed attempts. Suppose if it is passed, you can use 100 attempts, 1000 attempts also, no issue. Suppose if we use 3 failed attempts continuously, then it will stop for the login functionality for 5 minutes, even though you enter valid record. Observe admin, valid username, next admin at 123. This is valid password. Login should successful. Observe what will happen. Nothing. Did you observe the functionality, Ravindra?
Yes, sir.
That's why I used only 3 inputs. For other, suppose in our user interface login is there, for that you can use 10 inputs, 20 inputs, no problem. What is the test case? Verify the admin functionality with failed attempts. Say after 3 failed attempts, it has to stop. This is a business rule. It has to stop the admin admin functionality for 5 minutes. Okay na, Ravindra, or any confusion?
No, sir, I'm fine.
Okay. Now you come, Pavani. You know the require test case and test data also ready. Okay, 3 sets or 30 sets or 40 sets. Process is like this only. Guide me, Pavani. Suppose create a Java class. Suppose data driven. Generate the main method. Preeti is there or not? Preeti? Okay.
Yes, sir, I'm here.
Okay, cool, Preeti. Continue, Pavani. First,
equal to in the browser. WebDriver driver equal to new Firefox driver.
WebDriver driver equal to just a
New
minute.
Firefox driver.
Just a minute. WebDriver driver equal to new Firefox driver, open and close parenthesis, semicolon, D capital. Next, import WebDriver library, import Firefox driver library. Okay. Next,
driver.get.
Driver, generate the test steps. Driver.get launch the admin interface. Here only we have steps. Just a minute. Launch the admin interface. Admin interface. Next, just wait. Just inspect the elements. Okay, we already inspected. Check once again. Suppose take mouse pointer, show the username, name username, password, name password, small letters, login, button ID. Hello?
Sir, why I am not able to see the desktop today?
I think problem from your side. Disconnect and connect again. What about others?
I tried couple of times, sir. Same the link, whatever the link you sent, I clicked on it like every time.
See, remaining people are so same now. Balasubramaniam, can you view my desktop? Balasubramaniam.
It's clear,
able to view your desktop.
What about you, Vijay? Can you view my desktop? Vijay.
Yes, sir. I'm able to see your desktop.
Preeti. Okay, cool. Preeti.
Yes, sir, I can see that.
Okay, good. Ravindra.
Yes, sir, I can see.
Okay, see, observe Jyotirmayi. All can view my desktop. I think.
But Vijay also saying that he is unable to see the desktop, sir. But I've been waiting and I've been trying, like, closing and opening. This is the first time ever happened to me.
See, Smriti Pandey also viewing, Sirish also viewing, 8 people viewing. See, I sent a correct invitation. Then what is the problem?
I don't know. That's what I was wondering actually. I've been waiting and I sent an email to you. And why I am not able to see? From 8:45 onwards, I am checking on it.
After starting the class, I'm not able to open my emails.
Okay.
Then just a minute. Say continuation. Come Pavani. Next statement, Pavani.
Driver.find element.
We already inspected. Driver dot find element. Next.
Find element by dot name.
By dot name locator. Just a minute.
Username.
By dot name. All of you put mute. Username. Except Pavani. All of you put mute. Username. Locator value. Next. Dot.
Send keys.
Send keys of suppose just
Username.
fixed
Save
value. Later we will pass the parameter. Later we will pass the parameter. Okay. Next.
And then driver dot find element.
Password. This time password.
Send key.
Suppose admin at 123. Okay. Next. Just a minute. By dot id. By dot id.
Log off.
tdb1
Dot click.
dot click dot click. Okay. Next, after this, after login to application, capture the URL. Suppose string URL. Just a minute. URL equal to driver dot get current URL. What is find element? Next, if URL
Sorry, sir.
URL dot contains. Observe, Sirisha, why I am writing contains instead of equals? In my machine, browser is writing extra information. That's why I'm finding substring. Contains. What is the expected index page? Index page. Index page. Next, open curly braces. Next, write any meaningful message. SYSO control space enter. Okay, you put mute, Pavani. I will call you later. Put mute. Admin login. Admin login successful. Admin login successful. Next, just a minute. Passed. Else, open curly braces. SYSO control space enter. Next, admin login. Admin login. All of you put mute. All of you put mute.
Sir, that one curly brace is missing, sir, before else.
Before? Yes, closed. Good. Unsuccessful. Unsuccessful. Failed. Failed. Okay. Now you come, Ravindra. This is the script is for one iteration. One iteration. Just run the driver.close. After condition, driver.close. Okay. Run the program or test case. Run the program or test case. Just a minute. All of you put mute except Ravindra. What happened, Ravindra?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Admin login successful na?
Successful, yeah.
Just a minute. Driver dot manage dot window dot maximize. Okay, now read data from an external text file and connect. Read
Sir, we need to install the file reader and buffer reader for that.
Yes, that file objects required na. Just a minute. File objects required. Just a minute. File objects required. Where first after just beginning of the this one.
After main method, sir. Before WebDriver.
After main method. Tell me. File. Remember, already we discussed these objects in file handling chapter. File reader. Suppose file.
Space name. File.
File equals to
new file reader.
Yes. Equal to new
file reader of
file
the path.
reader. File reader of path of the file. Just a minute. Import file reader from java.io. Just a minute. Take the file path of the file. Just a minute. These backward slash is not valid. Use forward slash, otherwise double backward slash. This is correct syntax. Semicolon. Safe side, it is asking declaration. This one. Throw declaration. File not found. Exception. This is auto exception. You no need to create. Automatic. Next, file reader. It opens the file in read mode. Next, buffered reader. Read the file. Buffered reader. BR. Any meaningful name you can use. Equal to new
buffer reader.
New buffered reader. Pass the file reader instance. File reader instance. This is the relation between these two instances. Import buffered reader. Okay. Next, observe Jyotirmai. Observe. Suppose int count. Why I am taking this one, I will explain. Int count equal to 0. Next, this is only for understanding. Int iteration equal to 0. Just a minute. Space optional. Iteration equal to 0. Next, string line semicolon. Okay, observe Ravindra. Now read data Jyotirmai using loop. Here while loop is flexible, irrespective. Already we discussed these objects. While loop is flexible irrespective of the record count. While line
equal to
line equal to br
buffer reader name
br dot read line br dot read line not equal to null. Suppose if br dot read line some value, it is not null, it will continue the iteration. Suppose first line some data not null, continue. Second line some data not null, continue. Third line data not null, continue. Fourth line blank null, come out from the loop. Next, open curly braces. Next, you practice 2 or 3 times, then you can get more clarity. Why it is showing error? Why it is add throws declaration? IO. Next, continue Ravindra. Just a minute. We have one variable now. Count equal to. Why this variable? I will explain. Count plus 1 semicolon. Count equal to count plus 1. Next, iteration equal to.
Sir, can you change the iteration spelling on int?
Pardon?
Can you change the iteration spelling, sir? Like,
yeah.
Any problem?
Take out the int, sir.
Yeah, when you are declaring
spelling mistakes are on 90 line.
Spelling mistake in
okay, cool. Is it okay?
Yeah.
Okay, good observation. Next, I'm writing one condition. I'm writing the condition where I need to place this loop, after verification point. Just a minute. Still some problems are there. Write condition if observe Ravindra, if count greater than 1, open curly braces. Why I am writing this one? Just a minute, syntax error. Why I am writing this one, Sirisha? If count greater than 1,
since count equal to count plus 1, so
why I am using this condition? Observe Bhairappa. In this file, Vijay, can you view my desktop? In this file, first line is not test data, it is header. We need to skip this one. I want from second line, that's why. Otherwise, you can use just loop, no condition required. Any problem, Sirisha?
no, sir.
Observe. Now continue Ravindra. String. Yes, I am taking one string type array. String square brackets input data. Array name is input data. Array name
equal to
data. Just observe Jyotirmai, input data equal to line dot split. It is method on string, comma space, comma 2, semicolon.
What is that means?
Observe. Here in this file, every line having two records. Two records. Yeah. Delimiter is, you can use any delimiter. I used comma space. Comma after comma space also there. Space also value.
Yes, sir. Yes.
So I need to split. I need to split this line into two records using split method, string method based on delimiter.
Okay.
This is the syntax. What is the syntax? Line dot split within double quotes delimiter, comma, number of pieces. Observe, Vijay, any confusion? You need to remember this one. What we are going to do, count greater than 1 means
1.
If second line onwards. Suppose if you want to read from first line, you no need to write this condition. I want to write from second line, that's why I'm taking this variable. Okay. Next, string. Here in my test data file, every line having 2 records. Okay. In some test cases, 3 records, 4 records, 5 records also. If it is single record, you no need to split. Take into string enough. Suppose 2 records, we need to split. First we need to read line by line, then split the line based on the delimiter. This is the syntax. Any confusion, Vijaya? Vijaya, are you there? Vijaya not available. Vijay Bhairappa. Any confusion? Bala Subramanyam.
Can I ask you one question?
Tell me quick.
Yeah, on line 27, right? Can you show me that?
What is the problem here?
Not 27.
We are reading line by line into line variable. Then we are splitting the line into 2 pieces based on delimiter and storing into array. Why? We are splitting the line into 2 pieces, more than 1 piece. So we need to store into array, not variable. That's why I am using array. See, line is string type variable. String. Line is string. What is line? br.read line. We are reading line by line into this string line. Then we are going to split this line into 2 pieces and storing into string array. Why? In this file, every record having 2 fields. First value is admin username. Second value is password. Suppose 3 fields, comma 3. Anyhow, if you want to store more than 1 value into any variable, for that array is required. Scalar variable not suitable. Then what is the problem, Preeti?
Sir, if we want to store the integer value.
You take integer type array. Int square brackets name.
I know.
When just like the username or password, right?
Username, password, string type data. That's why I'm using string type array. Suppose
Yes,
phone
sir.
number is there, or value 100, value 2, 200, like data is there. That time you can use integer. But anyhow, reading time, what is the computer programming motto? Reading time, computer program considers that data as string type data. Suppose if it is integer, later you need to convert the data. But in this scenario, data conversion not required. What is the problem?
Okay, can I ask you now? In that, when we are talking about the username, password, and after that there is another column, the third one, that is having the number column.
No.
Okay. So in that
is
scenario,
the number. Just a minute. That is the number. Anyhow, reading time. Good question. Reading time string only. Here, suppose 3. 3. Read the 3 values. First value string, second value string. Suppose third value integer. You just convert the third value using parseInt, that we will discuss later in TestNG chapter. Using parseInt method, convert that third value only. First two values leave them. Why? They are strings only. Any problem?
Yeah, okay. So in that scenario, when you are writing here the 2, right? So we will write 3 over there?
Yes, 3. Suppose if every line having 3 fields, 3. 10 fields, 10. That is the number of pieces.
Okay. Okay, sir.
Okay, cool.
Thank you, sir.
Welcome. Observe Ravindra. Still it is showing error.
An error. I think maybe one in brackets.
Just a minute here. If condition, where we need to close this if condition. Suppose
before driver.
Before driver if condition. Okay.
Yes.
I think one more. While.
One more is there.
While this one. Just a minute.
Two came
now. Before this one. Just a minute.
That is correct only, sir.
Not
before
correct.
Driver.
Just a minute. After driver close only. Driver close also part of the verification.
Loop, sir. Yes.
Yes. After this one, 2.
One more, sir.
After observe Ravindra, driver close also part of the condition. Okay na?
Okay.
Yes,
For
sir,
every iteration, driver dot close required, part of. After that, one is for if condition, another for while loop. Next, 2 more required. One is for main method, another for class. Here, 2 more statements. I think
browser.close and
br.close. Br.close. Release the memory. If you release the memory, then if you use this statement, then memory will be released immediately. Otherwise, after relaunching the Eclipse IDE. This is best practice. File dot close. File dot close. Now observe why it is showing input data. Input. We need to pass input data. Sirisha, pass the input data. Preeti Joshi, pass the input data. Preeti Joshi, pass the input data. We read the data into
username and password, sir.
What username and password? We read the input
row and
into
column.
array. Pass the array, Preeti. No others. Preeti, pass the array. Instead of constant value, fixed value, pass the array.
Input data.
Input data.
And opening and curly braces. Bracket.
Not curly braces. Square brackets, 0.
Square bracket.
Why? Say input data is array. In that array, we have stored 2 records. First record 0 index, second record 1 index. If it is 10 fields, 0 to 9. Just a minute. Observe Pavani, any confusion? Smriti, any confusion?
No, sir.
Observe. Shall we run this one, Ravindra, or any problems?
I think so. You can run here.
Run the program. Run the program. First iteration launching admin over. Next, second iteration launching failed. Next, third iteration, I think it will pass. Observe Jyotirmai, 3 iterations we did continuously, data driven. First iteration passed, we used valid inputs. Second iteration failed. Third iteration passed. Okay, na? And one more thing, I didn't use this one. In order to increase the clarity only, try to use this one, but otherwise not required. What is this one? Suppose, just a minute. Iteration. Just a minute. Observe Ravindra. Are we providing increment for iteration? Yes. Run the program or test the case. Observe. First one. What is 2? 2, 3. Just a minute. Observe Ravindra, what is the problem? It is showing 2, 3, 4. Suppose use some gap. First one, iteration equal to iteration.
We use iteration equal to iteration plus 1, sir. That's why.
Pardon? Iteration equal to iteration plus 1. Iteration equal to iteration plus 1. But
and then we use
correct only, but what is the problem? Second record onwards, na?
Yes, sir.
Second record onwards. First record 0.
Header.
Just a minute. You take this one. 0 only. 0. Okay. Suppose.
Should be 0 plus 1, 1, sir. Yeah. That is correct only.
Just a minute. Run the program. Just a minute. 1. Observe Jyotirmai. We are reading from second line now. That's why iteration 0 not working. That's why I used -1. Anyhow, that is optional only. That is not mandatory. Okay, na?
Okay, sir.
Why it is showing fail? Nothing. 5 minutes for observe Ravindra. 3 continuous failed attempts na. That's why this is third iteration failed. But if you execute after 5 minutes, it will execute properly.
Sir, that iteration is for counting that number of username and password what we have given, sir.
Yes.
Means how many iterations?
Yes. How many iterations? Cycle of execution. First record, second record, third record, fourth record, like that. Anyhow, that is optional. But user friendliness point of view, I used. What is the problem?
No, since there were two, no, sir, count and iteration. So I just wanted to understand, sir. One count is for counting the data, username and password.
Count variable for reading line by line, reading from second line. Observe, first line headers
Name
it's
and
not
headers,
record.
headers.
I want to read from second line. That's why I'm taking count variable. First initial value count equal to 0. Then I used a condition. If count greater than 1 means line greater than 1 means second line onwards read for that. But line second means second record okay, but first iteration. That's why I used iteration -1. What is the problem?
Okay, sir. That's what I wanted to understand, sir. Like those two differences.
One is
So just ask, sir.
reading lines, another is iteration. You forget about iteration. If you have confusion, you no need to write iteration, but user friendliness. Okay, next you come. Smriti, you come.
Sir,
Ah,
sir, I just want to ask one question.
tell me.
When you pass in parameters, if I want to make one parameter optional, like one value is optional. In that case, if you give the value blank, then it will continue, right, sir?
Just a minute. What is your question? Parameter?
My question is like if we have 3 parameters, sir.
Yes, 3 parameters.
So two of them is like mandatory and one is optional. Whether it's a value, it will take.
For optional,
blank, it will also pass.
you don't pass. You don't write that line also.
Okay.
You don't write that line. Suppose driver dot find element by dot name something. You don't write that line. If it is optional, if it is mandatory, you write the line. Suppose if you want to fill optional fields also, then write the line and pass the third parameter also. Then what is the problem?
Yeah. So my question is like when we pass in third parameter, like if you're using like data files are, so maybe first row we can put some value.
Your question is invalid. Suppose if you don't want to use optional fields, then you don't prepare test data for that. Only prepare test data for 2 fields and read and connect. Suppose if you want to use optional field also, prepare three fields, read 3 fields and connect. Then what is the problem?
Yes, sir. Yes, I got it. But this is an interview question, sir. That's why I'm just checking with you. What they ask is like if you using 3 parameters, sometimes like the third one is optional, like I said. So if
third one is okay. Good question. You can answer like this. If third one is optional, then you decide fill the field or don't fill the field. If you want to fill, even though optional field, if I want to use that field in my form, then prepare test data for that field also. Next, read the data and connect the data. Suppose I don't want to fill that field, you don't prepare the test step for that field, so you no need to prepare test data and connect. Then what is the problem?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. No problem, sir. So actually, he was like he just want to make confused like that. He said like, see,
they ask some tricky questions. They ask some tricky questions. Then you need to explain the possibilities. These are the possibilities.
Yes, sir. Yes, I did.
Okay. Right. These are the possibilities. Okay. You come, okay, Smriti. Smriti, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Next question. Observe all of you. Observe Sirisha. Important one. 9th one. Write Selenium WebDriver test batch. Observe Ravindra also. Write Selenium WebDriver test batch. test batch. Here, Ravindra, I am going to use, this is optional, but best practice nowadays, best practice, using user defined methods, or you can say reusable components. Reusable components. Observe Jyotirmayi also. Smriti Pandey, I am going to take 3 test cases. Up to now, we used single test case for a class. This time, I am going to use multiple test cases in a class. Yes, we can. Suppose test case 1. One of the advantage of test automation is batch testing, executing series of tests. What is the advantage of batch testing? In batch testing, human user interaction is not required. Suppose you created 100 test cases as a test batch. If you click run the test batch, it will execute all test cases one by one. If it is manual testing, for each and every test case execution, user interaction is mandatory. Okay, now Vijay, are you getting this point? Advantage of batch testing?
Can you please come again?
Just a minute. Vijay not responding. Ravindra.
Yes, sir.
What is the advantage of batch testing or batch execution?
So reusable component, we can use
not reusable
component.
That is different. That is different. That is different usage. Say once again. If you have any problem, ask me. Don't follow blindly. Preeti Joshi, observe. Batch testing or batch execution. What is batch testing? Executing series of tests. What is the advantage of batch testing? It is one of the key feature of automated testing or test automation. What is the advantage? Without user interaction, without human user interaction, we can execute series of tests using test tool. If it is manual testing, suppose if you want to execute 10 series of tests or 100 series of tests, for each and every test case execution, user interaction is mandatory. User need to navigate the application. User need to supply the input. User need to observe the verification. Advantage of batch testing is without user interaction, we can execute series of tests. What is the problem, Jyotirmay?
No, sir, I got it now.
And one more thing, earlier I explained what is data-driven testing, next purpose of data-driven testing. This time, what is batch testing, purpose of batch testing. See once again, what is data-driven testing? Executing the same functionality using multiple sets of test data, or you can say executing the same test case using multiple sets of test data is called data driven testing. Then you can ask one question, why data driven testing? Suppose for one input, username and password, my application is responding fine, providing correct output, then why I need to perform the same login functionality with 10 inputs or 20 inputs, etc. Positive and negative testing. Suppose for valid input, my application is responding fine. What about handling invalid inputs? It has to accept valid inputs and prevent invalid inputs. Positive and negative testing is the primary purpose of data-driven testing. And one secondary purpose also there, checking the reliability of the system. By executing the same functionality again and again, we can check the reliability of the system. What is reliability? In internet, you can find something in some web applications. If you perform same operation again and again, some application may hang. Hanging application is not reliable application. It has to respond every time. If it is one iteration or 10 iterations, suppose you are using one navigation 10 times, 20 times, it has to respond. Suppose first time working, second time working, third time not working, hanged. That is not reliable application. Next, second one, what is batch testing? Executing series of test cases. What is the purpose of batch testing? Without user, means human user interaction, we can execute series of tests. It is not possible in manual testing. Any problem, Sirisha? Any problem? Jyotirmai?
No, sir, I got it, sir. No.
Sirisha? Confirm, Sirisha?
Got it, sir.
Sirisha not responding. Okay, all of you put. Okay, Sirisha. Put mute Vijay and Jyotirmai. Jyotirmai, after answering the question, put mute. Smriti Pandey, you come again.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I'm taking three test cases. First one, verify. Observe Ravindra also. Verify admin login. Okay, I'm taking positive test case only. Anyhow, our intention is executing series of test cases. Verify admin login. This is test case 1. You can use complex test cases also. Test case 2. Observe Vijay. Just a minute. Suppose positive test case. Suppose verify admin login. Verify error message. If admin login fails, verify. That is also one functionality. It has to fail. Verify error message in admin login functionality. All of you put mute. It's a lot of disturbance coming. Put mute Jyotirmai. Why you are opening the speakers? Jyotirmai, put mute. Hello? Jyotirmai. Vijay, you put mute, Vijay. Vijay, why you are opening again? Don't open. Say in admin login functionality, this is negative. Negative test case. Next, third one. Test case 3. Verify. All of you put mute. Jyotirmai, disturbance from your side. Avoid the disturbance. Jyotirmay.
Oh.
You put mute, Jyotirmay.
Yeah, I am in mute only, sir.
No. Green symbol coming from your side.
Just now I on it.
2 times you joined. I will remove this Jyoti. Just a minute. Just a minute. Okay, na Jyotirmay, can you hear me? Jyotirmay.
I can hear you, sir.
Okay, cool. Put mute. Okay, cool, cool. See, observe, Smriti, redirect.
Yes.
Verify redirect functionality. Just a minute. Redirect functionality from admin interface to user interface. Observe Ravindra, I think all of you familiar with admin login navigation. Next, error message navigation. Same. If you use failed attempt, error message. Next, third one. Observe admin login. Admin verify redirect functionality. Observe. Suppose launch the application. Next, enter valid username and password. Click login. Next, observe here online catalog link is there, Ravindra. Click this link. It redirects to user interface. By capturing this user interface URL, compare with expected and confirm. Okay, now redirect functionality. Redirecting from admin to user interface. Now, and one more thing. Observe Vijay Bhairappa. In these test cases, try to observe the common functionality. Suppose launching browser is common, small thing. Closing browser is also common. Closing browser also common. Okay. Next, login, admin login, not verification point, general steps, normal steps. Admin login also common. Suppose for verify admin login required, login steps required. You prepare general login steps. After that, you can insert verification point. Next, for error message also, admin login required. For verifying redirecting functionality also, admin login required. You can make this functionality as reusable component. Isn't it, Vijay? Getting the point? Suppose we have 3 test cases. First, try to identify the reusability. Vijay not responding. What about you, Balasubramaniam? Getting? Reusability. Come, Smriti. Smriti.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Observe. I'm creating. I'm going to use multiple test cases, multiple blocks. So I'm declaring WebDriver as different usage. Observe, Preeti. A WebDriver as static. Public. Static. Just I'm using modifiers. WebDriver is not variable. WebDriver make it as class level. Driver semicolon. Import WebDriver library. Observe Preeti. Class level. Next, I'm going to create before main method. Going to create launch browser. Reusable component means user defined method. Can you tell me the syntax, Preeti? Public, it returns nothing, just launching the browser. Void
Public launch browser.
No parameters. Okay.
Yeah.
Just a minute, not semicolon, curly braces. Curly braces. Next, driver equals to new different
Firefox.
usage. Try to understand. Firefox driver, open and close parenthesis. Just a minute. Semicolon. Import Firefox. Over.
Yeah.
Next, observe Jyotirmai.
So
Create.
what is the purpose of doing?
Pardon?
What is the purpose of doing like this?
Reusable component. Suppose you can use instead of writing the same statements again and again, you can just call this reusable component nothing but a user defined method in test cases, multiple test cases.
Okay.
Say admin login.
So we are creating different methods.
Different user defined methods for reusability.
Okay.
With
parameters.
Observe. Suppose
public void.
Public void login. Open parenthesis. Next, username is string. Username, comma.
String password.
String password. Open curly braces. Next, prepare that statements. Suppose driver dot observe Ravindra. We prepare normal steps only. Suppose verifications we will add in test cases. Why? These normal steps only common for multiple test cases. Driver dot get. Suppose take the URL. Just a minute.
PHP admin.
Say admin, up to admin. Next, driver dot find element. Next, by dot
name.
Just a minute. Name by dot name value small letters. Username earlier we inspected.
Yes.
Next, dot send keys. Pass the parameter. What is the parameter value we will use while calling this method? Okay, na?
Okay.
While calling the method.
So then username. Okay.
Just a minute. Username. Next. Password. Here also pass the parameter. Password. Next. ID. ID value is TDB1. Operation is click. Dot click. Okay. Now it is okay. Next, one more for suppose close browser. Optional, but right. Close browser. Launch browser. Just a minute.
Login and then close.
Close browser. Say public
Void.
Public void. Next,
Close browser.
close browser. Close browser of blank parenthesis, open curly braces. Next, suppose driver dot c. Close. Okay, like this you can prepare reusable components. Now, okay, I will call you later. Jyotirmayi, come Smriti Pandey, come. What is our first test case?
Sir, verify admin login.
Just a minute. Just a minute. Our first test case. Just a minute. First test case is verify admin login. Second test case. Next, third test case. Readability. Take the first test case. What are the steps required for first test case? Observe Ravindra also. Launch the browser required. Launching browser. First create object Smriti in order to access user defined methods. These are non-static methods. Create object. Suppose class name. What is the class name? Batch testing. Just a minute.
Yeah, batch testing.
Class name. Next, for example, obj equal to new class name, open and close parenthesis, semicolon. Okay. Next, observe Pavani. Obj dot type L launch browser. Next, obj dot type A. Where is admin login? I used what is the name? Just login. Okay. Obj dot login. Values. Admin. Pass the values per parameters while calling.
Admin 1, 2, 3.
Admin at 1, 2, 3. Just a minute. Close double quotes. Next, obj dot type C, close browser. Before close browser, observe Ravindra. After login, it will perform up to login. tdb1 dot click. After that, some verification steps required. Smriti, capture the URL and compare.
Yes, and compare the expected.
Some steps required. Say we are using reusable components in order to reduce the code size, but some test case specific steps required. Common steps we used as reusable components. URL equals to driver dot get current URL semicolon. Next, if URL dot contains within double quotes, just I'm gonna take the URL. Just a minute. This is login page. Admin at 123. Just a minute. PHP. Open curly braces. Next. SYSO control space enter. Admin login. Admin login. Successful. Passed. Next. Else. SYSO control space enter. Admin login unsuccessful. Failed. Okay. Next, driver dot close. Observe Ravindra, first test case over na.
Yes, sir.
Just try to run this partial test case. Just a minute observation. User friendly point of view. Test case 1. Just a minute. Just user friendliness. Just run the program. Observe Srisha. Observe. Observe Ravindra, what happened? Test case 1, admin, login successful na?
Sir.
Successful. Yeah. Just a minute. Just a minute. In this only driver dot new driver dot manage dot window dot maximize. Just run the test case partial test batch. Login successful. Observe Ravindra, login successful. Next, second test case. Guide me Smriti. Second test case. What is the second test case? Verify. Just a minute. Admin login functionality negative. Negative means error message. If login
Yes,
fails,
sir.
capture error message. Isn't it?
Yes, sir.
If login fails, capture error message. Just a minute. Test case 2. obj dot launch browser. Next, obj dot login. Just a minute. obj dot login. I'm going to use invalid input Jyotirmayi. It has to fail. Suppose admin 1. Next, suppose admin at 123. Invalid username. Invalid username. Definitely it will fail. Definitely it will fail. It has to fail. It has to fail. Getting? Now,
Yes, sir.
definitely you won't get that message. You won't get URL. Capture the error message for invalid data.
Okay.
String
Okay.
error message equals to just a minute. Error message equals to just a minute. gcrit.com/build3/admin. Just a minute. What's the problem? Server not found. Just a minute. Build3 admin. No problem. Just a minute. Put mute Jyotirmay. Some noise from your side. Mute for some time. Okay. Observe. Suppose incorrect attempt. Admin 1. You take this error message as expected. Before that, just a minute. gcrit. What is the history.com admin build3 admin. Okay. Observe Smriti Pandey.
Yes, sir.
Take hand icon. Show this message. Class name available. Class name.
Yeah, message.
Before that, what is the problem? Driver dot find element by dot class name of class name value dot get text semicolon. What's the problem, Smriti? Any problem?
No, sir.
Okay. Next, after that, open the condition if error message. Observe Ravindra, in that error message, some symbol also there. Now error message is string. I'm going to use contains instead of equals. Why? That error message having apart from this text some symbol also there. That's why I'm finding substring. Just a minute. Next, open curly braces. Next, observe. All of you put mute. Out of disturbance. Vijay Bhairappa, you come. System dot out dot println. Vijay, test case 2. Test case 2. Concatenate admin login unsuccessful and showing correct error message. Correct error message. Login failed means this negative test case pass. Criteria is different. Passed. Next, semicolon. Next, else just a minute. Test case 2, leave it. Login. Admin login unsuccessful. Anyhow, unsuccessful only, then you can get message. Just a minute. This is showing na. Not showing. Not showing correct error message. Failed. Okay. Now Ravindra, you come third one, redirecting functionality. After admin login, redirect from admin interface to user interface. obj
dot launch browser, sir.
Dot launch browser. Next, obj dot login. Suppose valid inputs. Admin. Next, if you use parameters, you can use these components for positive and negative testing. You can use valid and invalid inputs. Okay. Next, redirect functionality. Redirect functionality after login. Observe admin. Next, admin at 123 login. Observe, click this online catalog. It is link. Now it is redirecting. Observe Ravindra. All of you put mute except Ravindra. Observe Ravindra. Driver. Guide me, Ravindra.
Driver dot find element.
Find element by dot, that is link.
Text, sir.
Link text.
Online catalog.
Online catalog.
Dot click, sir.
Online catalog dot click. After that, capture the URL, Ravindra. Capture the URL. String
equal to,
suppose URL we used in first one, you can use same one, no problem.
URL 2, sir.
Okay, otherwise in order to increase the clarity, use URL, just a minute, URL 2 equal to
driver.get current URL.
You can use same URL name, anyhow variables take latest values, but in order to increase the clarity, readability, use this one. Next, if
URL2
just a minute. Just a minute. URL2. This time I am going to use just equals. Observe Ravindra, why I think it is not returning extra information. If extra information is there, anyhow, contains is better. Try just what is this one? Equals.
URL name, yeah.
Next.
System dot
just a minute. System dot out dot println. Next, this is optional.
Redirect to
test
user interface.
case 3. Test case 3. Concatenate. Redirect.
Redirected to user interface.
Just a minute. Redirected from admin
to user.
Admin to user interface. Next, status of the result passed. Just a minute. Status of the result passed. Next, just a minute. Else.
System dot out println.
Same. System dot out dot println. Just a minute.
Not redirected, sir. Make it.
Yes. Test case 3. Not redirected from admin to user interface. Failed. Now observe Jyotirmaya. I am going to execute all these cases. Next at the end, obj dot close browser. Close browser. Okay. All. Just a minute. Next, main method closing, class closing. Run the program. First one, login. Admin login functionality with valid inputs. Next, admin login functionality with invalid inputs and verifying error message. Third one, redirecting functionality. Over, but one browser not closed. Remaining okay.
Yes, sir.
Observe. First test case passed, second one passed, third one also passed. In second test case, observe Smriti, we didn't use in second test case close browser.
Close the browser. Yeah. So after that, obj.close
browser. Okay, now all test cases executing. Now ask me, Preeti, any confusion in this batch testing?
Sir, can you please explain this program, sir?
No. Ask your query, not from the beginning.
Sir,
just a minute. Vijay.
I'm confused.
Vijay, are you following?
Yes, sir.
Vijay, Bhairappa, are you following? Vijay not responding. Jyotirmaya, are you following?
Yes, sir. I'll ask one quick question, sir.
Tell me.
Sir, if we don't know the error message, so after entering invalid username and
if you
password,
don't know the error message, you cannot check that functionality first of all. Why? For identifying that error message, Element location is important, na?
Okay. What I am thinking, sir, after entering the invalid username,
after
password,
entering the
and
invalid
what
username, definitely you can get error message. You need to
I
get
want
that
to
error message
capture
details
that,
from
sir.
development team or manually execute the test case and get that one. If you don't know the error message, you cannot perform the test case.
No. I want system, means our program, to capture the error message without enter.
Yes, error message, it will capture the error message. Then how to compare?
Okay.
Comparing value is required now.
Yes. Okay.
I used value. Yes. See, this error message also element, Selenium point of view. We must locate the element. Otherwise, you cannot perform the test case. Any other Jyotirmai? See, Jyotirmai, what we did in this batch testing, we selected 3 test. Observe Preeti Joshi. We selected 3 test cases. What are the 3 test cases? One is admin login with valid inputs, positive test case. Second one, admin login with invalid inputs, admin login with invalid inputs. Here verify the error message, means negative testing. Next, third one, redirecting functionality. See, in our application, after login, if you click online catalog link, you can redirect from admin interface to user interface. You check that one. You capture the user interface URL and compare. Get the URL and compare. Okay. Here, first we take 3 test cases. In these test cases, we identified common functionality. Suppose launch browser common, close browser common, next admin login common, login general steps, not verifications. Verifications we use in test cases. Admin login is common for all these test cases. That's why I prepared 3 reusable components. I used these 3 reusable components for these 3 test cases. First test case, first I created an object in order to access the reusable components. Next, first test case, verify login. Launch browser reusable component is there. Next, login is there. Login normal steps are there, but add verification point. Suppose after login, captures URL, then compare with expected. Next, at the end, close the browser. Next, second test case, launch browser. Next, login with invalid input. Why? It should fail. Fail at time, it shows error message. Capture the error message and compare. Next, third test case, redirecting functionality. First launch the browser, then login functionality with valid inputs. After login, click the online catalog link in admin interface. Then it will redirect to user interface. How to confirm? Capture the URL and compare with user interface URL, not build 3/admin. User interface URL. Then at the end, close the browser. Then what is the problem, Preeti Joshi?
I got it, sir. Thank you.
Welcome. Observe Vijay not responding. Observe Sirisha. This is batch testing. Batch testing. What is batch testing? You know? Batch testing. Observe. Just observe the last points. What is batch testing? What is batch testing? Executing series of tests or test cases. Next, purpose of batch testing. What is the purpose of batch testing?
Without user interaction.
Say executing series of tests without
user interaction.
Without user interaction, only with the tool, so that we can conduct 24/7 testing. 24/7 testing. Okay. Next, observe Sirisha. Just a minute. Series of tests. Next, observe the steps. First step, we, otherwise general, select test cases. Select test cases. Next, identify common functionality among those test cases, so that just a minute, so that this is optional but best practice, we can reduce the code size. Next, third step, create test cases using just a minute. Identify common functionality. Next, create reusable components, or you can say user defined methods for common functionality Next, create test cases using reusable components, or you can say user defined methods. This is. Any problem, Jyotirmay? Any problem?
No, sir, I am good.
Sir? When we are talking about the batch testing, the batch testing can be done in only one class, right?
One class. If you use multiple class, then how can you say that is batch testing?
Okay.
Suppose 3 test cases. If you use 3 batches, how can you? Okay, with testng we can run multiple classes. That is different. Now we are not using testng like testing framework. We are just using Java with Selenium WebDriver with Java only. Here we can run one Java class at a time. If you prepare 3 test cases in 3 different Java classes, then you need to execute 3 Java classes one by one separately. User interaction is mandatory. Then no meaning of batch testing. What is the problem?
No, sir, I'm good.
Say, in this batch testing, we are using a single class for writing multiple test cases. If we use multiple classes for multiple test cases, then no meaning of batch testing. And one more thing, Jyotirmai, in TestNG framework chapter, we will run multiple test cases, multiple classes in single shot without user interaction using XML. That is different. In that also, suppose observe like this we will prepare. That is a different case. Suppose now Selenium WebDriver with Java. Suppose one class multiple
test cases.
Multiple test cases. For example, in this scenario, 3 test cases. 3 test cases. Suppose in another scenario, observe Balasubramaniam in another scenario, and TestNG testing framework. TestNG testing framework. Suppose multiple classes.
Multiple test cases.
Multiple classes. Multiple test cases. Just a minute. Observe Jyotirmai. For example, class 1, 4 test cases. Next, class 2, suppose 3 test cases. Next, class 3, suppose 4 test cases. Suppose total 11 test cases. See, using TestNG, we can execute these 3 classes continuously without human user interaction using XML. Then we can execute all these 11 test cases. Did you understand the concept or any query? Preeti Joshi.
I'm good, sir. Thank you.
Okay, cool. I'm going to close the session. Any queries?
Sir, but I think we did not copy the code, sir.
Pardon?
We did not copy
this one code. Okay. Good. I will copy. Just a minute. I will copy. Batch testing, important one. Batch testing. Just a minute. before this, just a minute. Selenium, WebDriver, D capital, Selenium WebDriver test batch. Selenium WebDriver test batch. Okay, na Jyotirmayi?
Okay, thank you.
Okay, I'm going to close the session.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Welcome. Any queries? Vijay not responding today.
Vijay, I think
Vijay,
he also has some problems, sir.
he's available. I think his speaker also in on mode. Okay. What about you, Jyotirmayi? Okay. Pavani offline. Preeti Joshi.
Sir, one of the program when I was running on my system, it wasn't working fine. Okay, and it was showing the wrong output. But when I gave to one of my friend, and when she was running, the program was perfectly fine, and the output was perfectly fine too. So, what do you think? What was
that is environmental issue?
Yeah,
environment issue. Suppose in your mission, some environment issue is there. Compatibility between operating system and Eclipse and Selenium and browser, etc. That is environmental issue. Suppose script is not showing any errors and providing correct output, means no issues with the test script, but environmental issue. In real time, technical support people find the solution and they rectify the problem. But it is environmental issue, means in one mission it is executing, in another mission it is showing error.
Okay, sir.
Environmental issue. Ravindra, any queries?
I'm good, sir. Thanks.
Welcome. Smriti Pandey.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, welcome. We'll meet tomorrow, same time. Thank you.